Hey, all you amazing people! Welcome to Love on Record, the podcast where we turn up the volume on stories of love, connection, and the wild, wonderful ways that people are shaping a kinder world. Every episode, we hit record on conversations that remind us that we have the power to choose love each and every day. So whether you're on your morning commute, cooking up something delicious, or just taking a break, join us for this incredible conversation.
Hi, I'm Wendy White, and I'm the founder of Let's Choose Love, and I'd like to welcome you to Love on Record. We are so excited today to be able to have one of our very own team members, Brian Flaherty, who is the person who has actually started Love on Record and is working on all of our social media and just sort of is a jack of all trades. He's so talented, does a little bit of everything, and he is just the epitome and example of living out love every day and every. We're so happy to have him on today. So, Brian, why don't you just share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course. Well, thank you, Wendy. First of all, this whole thing, Love on Record, is a team journey. It is a team project, but I appreciate you hyping me up. Hey, everyone. I'm Brian. I am currently located in Rockford, Illinois, so the middle of the cornfields, keeping it excited. I've been working with Let's Choose Love for about a year and a half now, I think, which is absolutely wild to think about all of the impact that's happened in that year. It's just been an amazing journey so far to get here.
So, tell me, what was it that attracted you to Let's Choose Love in the first place?
Such a good question. I think when you think of Let's Choose Love, right? Obviously, you think of the name, Let's Choose Love. And I love that it's such a call to action. It's a call for all of us to continue finding ways that we can choose love each and every day, finding ways that we can instill more kindness into the world and be kinder to other people. And so I think that was the first thing that really drew me to Let's Choose Love. I saw an Instagram post that said something about like changing the world or choosing love or something. So I began researching the organization. It's just like every single page on the website was just so powerful and something that I was like, this is it. This is the organization that I've been looking for. Like this sums up everything I've been thinking, everything that I've been feeling. So why wouldn't I want to get involved?
What's been some of the highlights since you've gotten involved in Let's Choose Love? Where have you seen the biggest impacts or have been the things that you've been most excited about?
So many. I don't know how many we have time for, but I think starting this podcast has been incredible because when I started with Let's Choose Love, one of the biggest, most exciting things for me was seeing all of our past grantees and the amazing things that they had been doing and the things that they're doing to continue bettering the world. And I was just so inspired by that and like looking through our list of who had applied and who we had funded. And so Love on Record is an amazing opportunity for me to be able to connect with these people on a different level. I've read their stories. We have some blogs on the website. And so I've read through what some of these individuals have done, but being able to really sit down and talk with these literal world changers and like learn from them and learn from the things that they're doing has been so powerful. I've also loved the Crossroads Collaboratory, which we had our inaugural Crossroads Collaboratory last August in Asheville, North Carolina. It's just a way for us to bring people together to address some of the biggest issues that are facing our society. So we focused on climate change. And climate change has been something that I have been really concerned about my whole life. And so being able to be in a space where I was able to connect with all these individuals with diverse experiences and knowledge sets and being able to learn from them. We had a panel of Native Americans speak at the collaboratory and share their perspective, which has really stuck with me. And so just being able to learn from all of those different people perspectives has just really helped me grow as a person.
I know this is not new, this journey of giving back, this journey of trying to make a positive impact in the world. I'm curious, where did that start from you? Because you seem to be living it in every aspect of your life from an early age. Where did it begin?
Such a good question, Wendy. I don't know if I could tell you a specific time. I don't know. I remember growing up, my parents worked really hard to help us just be empathetic and be kind and compassionate in everything we did. Like that was just something that was expected growing up. And I think eventually I learned that there's a difference between doing something because it's expected and doing something because you want to do it. And I think that change for me happened like late elementary, early middle school when I really began to see the impact that being kind could have on somebody. I remember there was one particular moment in middle school where I had noticed that like the person sitting next to me was having a hard day. She was always coming into class and had her head on her desk. And so I just started talking to her and she shared some of her story and some of the things that she was going through. And she eventually sent me a note that was like, Brian, you actually may have saved my life. And so just being able to see that impact of, to me, it was nothing. Like I was just having a conversation, but to somebody who is experiencing something or going through something like that can be so powerful. I think through that, then I started looking for more ways to get involved, whether that was we would go on these community service trips every summer, or are there other communities and organizations, community service organizations at school that I could get involved with just to continue sharing the things that I have to continue uplifting others.
I think that's such a perfect example because one of the things that Let's Choose Love extends the invitation is you can't change everything in the world, but you could do something. What is your one unique thing to do, and what is the thing you're passionate about that you can extend your love with? And sometimes it's as small as like being out and about, and going to the grocery store and looking at the teller in the eye and saying thank you. Or it doesn't have to be big. So it's seeing somebody that looks like they're in distress and reaching out and saying, can I help? Can I listen? How are you? These are little everyday acts of kindness that make such a big difference, especially in the world today
A
when
hundred
things are
percent.
just so crazy and we're so divisive and there's a lot of speech and rhetoric that is more hateful than love-based. And so it makes even the smallest acts of kindness, I think, even amplify its impact. And I love how your story of your classmate, it starts out as a small gesture that then fueled a whole life of being able to give back and make powerful differences. And right now, I mean, even as you were finishing up your last year of college and going on, you started really getting involved in some humanitarian work that's been very impactful. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Percent. Yeah. So once I graduated college, I took the summer and I was working for an organization called Be the Neighbor. And Be the Neighbor is an amazing organization that creates these community service social justice trips for, they're multi-generational, but primarily children and youth to come to different locations across the country and learn about an organization. And it's very sustainable, very impactful on every level. And so I love that. I started the summer in Tucson, Arizona where we were focusing on immigration, which was such a powerful, powerful place to be. Especially right now, I think we were able to look at immigration from a lens of compassion. I think that so often we boil down this major issue that involves so many individuals and their stories and their lives. And it's super easy for us to just look at that as a statistic or as a number. But what we were able to do this summer is look at that through a lens of compassion and being able to really understand where can we step up, where can we make a change to be able to continue impacting these lives in a positive way, and what are the things that we're able to do. So that was really powerful being there.
Mm. And then from there, yeah, I think you caught the bug, and it's like, I need to do more. I need to do more. I think I think sometimes we just sit back and we see all that's around, and we don't even know where to engage and how to step in. And I think that once you find your lever, the way that you can, do something that makes an impact for someone else, it kind of fuels something inside of you. I know what you're giving, but what do you get out of that personally?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Um, I think for me, it's different based on what I'm doing. So I've directed slash facilitated these community service social justice camps for the past 3 summers now. So we've focused on all sorts of issues from housing to immigration, like I talked about, and indigenous justice. And in that setting, I think the number one thing for me is I'm learning alongside the youth. I'm able to grow. I'm able to see firsthand the impact. But what I think is most powerful there is that I'm in a space where I'm able to empower these young people. We had an 8-year-old 2-year-old on one of our trips, and being able to see them interact with our neighbors who were living on the streets and seeing their mind grow from just Sunday to Friday when they left, and leave with so much hope, right? Before the end of the trip, we sit our kids down and we ask them to write out a plan of what are you going to do when you get home? What is your group going to do when you get home to continue addressing this issue? And seeing all of these people come together and just like idea after idea after idea after idea of like, this is what we can do. This is what we have the skills and the power and the capacity to do back home. Like, I never realized this was a need back home, but now I do. It just gives me so much hope to see, like you were talking about, there's so much divisiveness everywhere, but to see that there are still those people like you, like Let's Choose Love, like those kids on the trip that want to make a difference. And in terms of what I get out of it, I think hope. Like, honestly, I
Yeah.
see hope for the future. I see hope for our future generations, and I see hope for a world that is brighter and that is more compassionate and loving.
Wow, that's a lot to get because I think so often people look at people that go out and do these type of efforts like, oh, you give so much, you give so much. Look at you, look at what you give. And I think there's a flip side we don't talk about enough is what do you receive from all of that? You just want to do more of it. So it kind of feeds on itself. The more you give, the more joy you receive. And you know, that's what we really want to spur at Let's Choose Love. It's the whole reason we started Love on Record, because one of the things our goals is to amplify stories of ordinary people doing good in the world in hopes that it inspires others to do the same. Looking at like moving forward with Let's Choose Love and Love on Record, what are some of your hopes and dreams for the organization as we continue to grow and evolve?
Where do I start? First of all, I mean, like you said, grow. The fact that we would continue to be able to grow. I think Let's Choose Love, like we talked about, let's choose love. How can you not want to be a part of that? It's so simple. And I remember on well, some of our first conversations, like one of the things that we talked a lot about is like, how do we choose love even when we're talking with people that we disagree with? And so I think no matter who you are, no matter what you believe, Let's Choose Love is an organization for everybody. And so I would hope to continue to see it grow in that sense, that it would continue to be more of a household name, more recognizable. We have these Let's Choose Love stickers we send out. Where are they on the water bottles? Like, if I'm walking down the street in Chicago, like, I want to see a Let's Choose Love sticker on someone's water bottle. And how can we continue to fuel those connections through our organization? We're doing so much through the collaboratories and the gem shows that we did, and the podcasts and the blogs and the grants, of course, like all of this. And so I would love to see the ways that that continues to grow in a way where people can continue coming together just to continue making a difference.
As we start to close out, what advice could you give to people who are thinking about stepping into this realm of choosing love and using their time and their gifts and their talents to make a difference in the world?
I think for me, and I think this is actually one of the things that you said when I asked you this question on your episode, is literally just start. Like, if it is a smile, like that can brighten someone's day. I remember when I went to New York City, I was taking selfies with strangers just because I wanted to connect with people. But the number of people who were like, Brian, like, you're the first person that's ever come up to me on the streets. You brighten my day. Most people just look at me like I'm trash, like whatever. And so just a smile, just being able to be there and see the humanity in someone is a step. If you're able to, if you have this dream, there are resources available to you. Even if you don't have the funding or the platform or the skills or the team or whatever it is, there's still things that we can be doing to make an impact. Let's Choose Love, for example, is one organization. We're here to support you in that. That's what we do. But there's other organizations like that that might be able to support you in different ways, with different platforms, with different skills, with different tools. Google, for example, gives free workspace platforms to nonprofits. Like, how can we leverage some of these tools where we don't necessarily need to have everything all to ourselves? As long as we take that first step, things will continue coming to us and we can continue working to make a difference.
Well, thank you so much, Brian, and thanks for all that you do in the world. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in to Love on Record, where we will continue to bring you stories of hope and resilience and love.
Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it. That's a wrap on this episode of Love on Record. Thanks so much for tuning in and letting a little extra love into your ears today. If you loved this conversation, and we know you did, make sure to check out all the details about our guest in the description. Go show them some love too. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with someone who could use a boost of love, and keep the ripple going. Until next time, stay loud, stay kind, and keep choosing love.